Right, so SP's been playing in multicolour mode. So before we get underway, SP's been playing with multicolour mode. So he's now got some multicoloured destructive, what do we call it? Collapsing blocks. So we've got a trap door like collapsing block. We have the static traditional floor. The last one's meant to have yellow instead of cyan. Okay, let's do that then. So that should be yellow. So you were saying this one should be yellow. Yeah, that's the problem with multicolored. That's the problem with multicolored. Is if you make the multicolors a specific color, it's got to be all the way through. So all the way through the character set, it has to be the same color. Yeah. So if you wanted to make it a unique color, you'd have to change the actual character color. So if we put that back to cyan and say, right, change the character color, foreground, that's the blue, and do that, then that would be... So remember, the foreground color is the color that we can change cell by cell. M1 and M2 are the two colors that are global. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you when you're doing multicolor, because you don't want to mix and match. We'll never get it to work if we've got different multicolors. But it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, are you doing a multicolor level? Are you going to do a multicolor level? It means a lot of work, though. You're working on it, because if you are, I've been thinking about how we can get it to set up. So if we do have any multicolor levels, we'll try and put them in. But yeah, these I like the trapdoor. I do like this, where it does that, and then the door hinge falls off. The door falls off. So yeah, we will. God. Cobweb. We will put the multicolors in. If we get a multicolor level, we'll code it to have multicolor. Yeah. So I'll leave you with that. Yeah. I'll leave you with that. Right. Current is unsaved. What have I changed? Oh, I changed the colour. No. Oh dear. Full of... Whoa. Not feeling too good. Not feeling too good. No, I wish I could sleep like them instead of them waking me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyway. Right, today we're going to try and define the state machine. Going to try and define the state machine. So let's, what we're going to do, we'll create a new file. Here we go. Yeah, I ain't been anywhere. I think it's just the cold getting to me. And also, I'm having to wrap my neck in an ice pack. It doesn't help, I suppose. Right, so, state machines. So, like we did before, we're going to, let's see if we can do a state machine. So, first things first. Init game. Right. So, what do we need next? If we initialize the game, it's even not liking that. Is that more than 40 characters? Oh, you've just tried a state machine in 650T with 6502. Hey Rosterini, welcome. Welcome. Heidi, hi. Oh right, yeah, yeah. I do a different type of state machine. It's just enter and that's it. Anyway, so initialize game. So the initialize game. What else have I got in here? What else can I use in here? Where are the things that I'm looking for? More shapes. Yeah, we'll put that in. We'll use that. We'll use that. And we will use... Where is it? Where is it? I spotted it. There. Come on. I should be able to touch... There we go. We'll do that. Right. Set up quasi sprite. You're a bit late for that, Xbox. Set up quasi sprite. Set up. Set up Vic chip. Let's do that. So that's what that bit does. Right, so we'll have a startup screen. Let's see, we'll need instructions. Should we have a level selector? Should we have a level selector? Or do we do it like the old way, where you have to start from the beginning again? I'll tell you what, we'll put one in, but it'll be for testing. Yeah. After completion and dev. You did not get into the forum. Okay. Yeah, I've been up. That's the second person that's done that. That's the second person that said that. I don't know what's going on. What's your username? Oh, I see you. I see you. Let me set you up. Right. You should be set up now, mate. You should be set up now, mate. Yeah, your account's set up and you should see the forum now. Oh, my new things don't... I'm going to have to change my bot to have more than 40 characters, I think. I'm going to have to change my bot to have more than 40 characters because it's complaining quite a lot. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. I mean, Discord is where we do most of the stuff anyway. Discord is where we do most of the chatting. But the forum's there for records. People put posts in there when they've done things. Right. Right, let's zoom in. Here we go. We never talk that. Everything we talk about is relevant in some way, shape or form. Right. So level selector. So when the level selector will get in the game. So this is the game bit, right? Set up level. And then game running. So setup level is because each level is going to be different, yeah? So we need a definite step to set up the level, yeah? We need a way to set up the level. So so that can be separated out. And then the game running is the main core of the game. That means the game is running. So should we do what we did in Nicos Run and have a pause? Then we need Quasi hurt himself. From there, end of game. Because if he's run out of lives, then or no, maybe not Quasi hurt himself. Didn't realise you could do graphs in VS Code. Yes, it's called Draw.io. It's called Draw.io. Let me find it for you. There it is. Draw.io integration. There's a website out there. If you do Draw.io, that's a website, but they've made this. They've made this extension for it. So it's my Visio replacement now. I don't cost them. I don't cost the company. Was it 500 quid anymore? I use this free tool. Right. So we're not saying Quasi hurts himself. Let's say lost to life. There we go. That's what we can do. Right. So end of game. What's after end of game? I suppose we should have a high score in there somewhere. What else? Well, the state machine is going to be very similar to Nicos Run, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be similar to Nicos Run. Right, so Let's put some lines in. Let's put some lines in this time, John. You're going to do a better job than you did last time. Right, so do the easy stuff first. End of life. Just copy that. If it's not the end of life, we go back and continue. Let's get the corner in there before I do this. There we go. If we've run out of lines, we come here. Check for the high score. Yo, what's all with you? You alright? Alright? Hey, do you want to say hello? Oh, you're very wobbly, aren't you? You alright? Alright then. Headbutts the camera. You headbutted the camera, mate. You headbutted the camera. What's the matter? Come here. Come here. No? He headbutted the camera. What's the matter? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. What's up, mate? Come here. Come here. I don't know what's going on. Is he going to go back in bed? It looks like it. Let's lift that camera up a little bit. I don't know what was going on in his head. Anyway. Right, high score, and we'll go back. We'll go back to the instructions. Yes, I did see your Christmas pudding. Yes, I did see it. It's got a bit of snow on it now. It's got a few layers of snow on it. It's very clever the way you've mixed the quartz with the yeah, it's like icing sugar, yeah. So yes, I went inside. It's the Secret Santa, isn't it? Sorry guys, we're talking Minecraft here. Mrs. OSK's made a Christmas pudding in the server world for Christmas. I think it's a Secret Santa. No, Enfan was taunting me with his invisible roller coaster, but I didn't want to lose all my levels, so I quit. I chickened out. Chickened out. Right. Right, so this... Now I should be able to... that one. Make that double-headed. There we go. Right, so here's our state machine. We may put some more states in here yet. It depends how complicated it gets. So let's copy that, paste that there, let's put that next to that. Oh, you meant for the enemies? Well, the enemies are going to have their own. They're going to have their own cycle within the game, within the game state, with the game running state. You sent me a picture in DC. Yep, that's the thing I looked at. That's the thing I looked at. I like the candy canes, by the way. What it needed was some fire on it, because aren't Christmas puds meant to be a light? Hang on, let me show everybody what we're talking about. This is Mrs. OSK's Christmas pud in the server world. So this is the Christmas pudding. So you can just see the outline of the Christmas pudding. So she's made a Christmas pudding for the Christmas area in the Minecraft server. That's a secret Santa. So you put your name in, and then I suppose it's a specific day. You go and press a button, and you'll get randomly given a name for you to do a secret Santa on. But yeah, I think it needs some fire on it, because that's... And blue fire at that. Yeah, blue fire, because when you light a Christmas pud, it's normally the blue flame, isn't it? Not the orange flame, the blue flame. So maybe put some blue flames on it to give the impression it's been lit. What do you think? Yeah? She's also making an ice palace in there as well. It's blue because of the booze. Yeah, I thought it would have been the booze. Right, startup screen. So shows the game start. Music. Beyond the ice palace. No, she's making an ice palace. She's got the front done. Got the front done. Right. So, ooh, I should be able to flip that. Can I flip that? Arrange. Flip horizontally. There we go. It's a game reference, is it? Oh, I see. My messages are not working. Right, shows the user the instructions after they've chosen the input. Maybe we should have that the other way around. Like that. Choose the input, show the instructions. Right. So, level selector. Only available in test mode and when all levels have been completed. Right, okay. Set up the level stage area and initialize all bad guys. Right, so we can assume what game running means. Oh, I didn't think that was all there. We can initialize. We can assume what game paused, game running, lost a life, end of game is, and the high score, which sends us back to the instructions. Right, so this is our beginnings of our state machine. This is the beginning of our state machine. So it's going to be very similar to Nicos Run, because Nicos Run is very similar to that. But it also allows you guys, when you want to mess around with it, to understand how the game's going to flow between the modes, between the states. Yeah? So, with this in mind, we need to start thinking about converting our demo game, because that's basically all it is at the moment. It's a demo game. Where's Quasi? There. So basically this is just a demo game, right? Where we're testing out all the different aspects, where we've developed all the different aspects of the game, yeah? So we've got the dissolving floor, we've got him jumping, we can climb, we've got the scroller working, oh, that is going to be tricky, that is. It's going to be tricky getting over there. No. These spikes are going to be tricky, aren't they? No, because I hit it. I know they need to drop one lower. That's the problem is that's one tile. It would be two tiles then. Right. Oh no. Maybe. Right, let's jump a fair distance away. No. Maybe we need to change the jump a little bit. Maybe we need to change the jump. Because he's not jumping wide enough. He's not jumping wide. Let's just make sure that that we haven't got any dodginess going on. What level is it? Oh, it's the normal one. I think it's that one. Hang on. Let's look at the code. Fairlane 3. Yeah, that's why I'm just checking the material. So we're looking at Fairlane. Oh, hang on. What map was I set in? 2. So it's definitely Fairlane. It's definitely this one. It's definitely this one, 24B. And we are on not 20. Yes, we are. We're on 24B. Right, where's the spikes? There. That's there. So, oh. Okay, I see the problem now. I see the problem. We've made everything. So if we turn the tops off. So if we turn the tops off, the tops are set to dead. So even when they're down, they're still set to dead. When really, we're just wanting to jump over, aren't we? Right, so we still, if we walk over them, we still get tagged as dead. But now, oh, we can make it now. Oh. Yeah, the jump's not long enough. The jump is not long enough. Oh, I did it. I did it then. But, oh, it's got to be bang on. Yeah, I have to have perfect timing. I think we may have to change. I think we may have to change the jump. I think we may have to change the jump. Oh, I did it there. Oh, see, it just clipped it. It just clipped it. No, I clipped it then. Oh, I can't do it with one hand. I'm going to have to do it with two. Right. Right, that did it. Here we go. Come down. Run. No.
Hi, John here. Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Who is that? Oh my god, Mikroman, 25 months. Gee. Have I been streaming for 25 months? Oh my god. Over 2 years. Welcome, Mikroman. Hey Gary, welcome. Nice to see you back. It looks a bit too hard, yeah. So we're going to have to mess around with the jump. Gonna have to mess around with the jump. Right, let's see if I can remember how this jump works. There it is. So it is number of frames. 2.6. So that's got to be the amplitude. So maybe we need to mess around with this. 2.8. See if don't want to do it too much. See if that helps. Right, let's have a look. Jump. Oh, jumped in midair. That was a double jump. Right, up we go. Right. Go. Oh, I'm just leaving it too long. There we go. Right, that went over it. Oh, jump too early. Nope. Nope, John, you are rubbish. Oh. Oh, John, you are absolutely rubbish. No. No. Oh, I'm jumping and running the wrong way. Right, gonna have to make it. We're gonna have to make it more frames. We got 40 gain constants. Gain constants. Gonna have to make it more frames, I think. Let's do 48. That might give us a bit more distance. Right, let's jump. Oh, that's a bit higher. Right then, John. Let's see if we can jump over there. Oh no, completely screwed that up. John, don't get too close. No, it's registering the death. Ah! There we go. There we go. Is it now too easy? No, because I've just hit it and I've hit it again. I think that's enough. I think that's done it. I think that's done it. Oh, chat stopped. Yeah, they're all right. Nico was just a little bit wobbly. Yeah. It just needs some exercise. Yeah. We've used the sine wave, but it'll do. It'll do. The fact that it's we can jump over it now, and then we've got the conveyor belts. So all the mechanics are there, right? It's just a case now of building the state machine to make the game have its different states. So we're going to use the same method as I did in the stream a couple of weeks ago. Oh yeah, we forgot about that, didn't we? We have to put a wall there at the edge. Stop him walking off the scene and leaving us. Because it classes as dead. And there we go. See, it's screwed up now. Yeah, we can't walk off the scene. Oh, yes please, mate. 9 o'clock. Oh, we're there already. 9 o'clock already. Right, I'm going to take this off because this is now not doing any good whatsoever. Right. Put that back in the freezer when I go downstairs. Yeah, it's 9. Right, okay, so I'm going to put the guys on big so you can see him. And I'm just going to get his eye drop, so it won't be a second. And I'll put this back in the freezer. Medicine time for both Nico and OSK. Yeah. Well, in an hour's time I'll bring it back out and put it back on my neck. So 10 o'clock please guys for his next set of drops. Right. So your cat is watching the dogs. Right. I'll be glad when they crack my neck. What's up? Aston, look at him blocking the view. Right then, so now we need to build the state machine. So we need a new file, game logic. Okay. So what we're gonna do? So we need namespace. Yes, we do. We give them a namespace, right? State. Call it state? No. Call it logic. And then state. So this is where we're going to have our states. Has anyone used the C64 or the VIC-20 to do some code in both BASIC and assembler? Is it viable? You can doubt that there's an assembler. There was the official Commodore assembler you can use, and you can still code in BASIC if you just plug a USB keyboard into it, unless you get the big ones and then you've got the keyboard with it. You can still, it's still got all the basic functionality. Just put it into basic mode and you can still code it. Turbo Macro Pro, is that what it was called? I know there's a Commodore I mean, there was 4th as well, wasn't there, for the Commodore as well? Arthur, I mean, to be honest, mate, you don't need to buy the C64. You could always buy a C64 case and stick a Raspberry Pi in it. As long as you've got the case and the keyboard. I mean, I've got it. Hang on. So you could always do something like this. Yeah? So it's a Commodore 64, but it's got a Raspberry Pi in it. Yeah? And you just load the emulator directly in. I mean, have I still got the images on Google Drive? Let's have a look. Can't remember if I got rid of them or not. No, I've got rid of them. Got rid of them, unfortunately. Yeah, so there's BMC64, yeah, that will, if just burn BMC64 to an SD card, stick it in your Raspberry. What's Nico up to? Just stick it in your Raspberry Pi. You don't need a Raspberry Pi 4. Get yourself a Raspberry Pi 3 off eBay for about 12-14 quid or something like that. I mean, you could even get away with a Pi Zero, the first gen, because I've got a Pi Zero that's running the PET emulator. Oh, you've got a first one. Well, there you go. All you have to do then, mate, is just grab yourself a Commodore 64 case off eBay. Yeah, make sure it's got a keyboard in there. But this keyboard is actually an Aldi, the C64 Aldi version keyboard. So it's not the Mark II. It was the one that was specially made in Germany. But that's why because it looked better with the raspberry colour case. And then I got the Raspberry Pi in the corner. It's the what's the keyboard interface called? There's a specific one. No, it's not, mate. It's not a Commodore 64. That's the one. That's SP's got it. That's the keyboard interface. It's not a 64C because the graphics are not on the face. The graphics are on the side of the keys, which on the 64C didn't have. So yeah, Gary Meg and SP that's the keyboard interface that you need to buy. And I think they're about €25 or something like that. And then all you do is just put everything in, and away you go. But look, so it's a proper case. Look, it's still got its label on, still got the proper label. So this is serial number 5519309. Doesn't have a date on it. I thought it might have had a date on it. Well, that would have been on the motherboard inside it, but there's no motherboard inside it anymore. Alright, so there you go. Don't invest, how much is it? 100 and something pound on one of those? Load up your Raspberry Pi, stick it in a Commodore 64 bread bin, and off you go. Yeah, they're sought after like the 64 Ultra. They're sought after. Yeah, I think it was the metal. I think the plastic was a lot thicker on the C64 and the VIC-20, so it could take the pounding of the sun and the user. Well, I mean, there's a video series of me painting that, because I got a lot of stick painting that. I got an absolute lot of stick. Spray painting that case. I mean, guys, I'm reinventing a C64 here. Let me see if I can find it. It was a long time ago. You have a gold one? Oh, I'd love to have the gold one, I tell you. But I thought the Raspberry one was unique. Took me ages to find the colour. Right, let's see. Is it somewhere around here? There we go. Well, that's part 2. Where's part 1? Where's part 1? Cool, we're going back some years. Look, 4 years ago. We're going back some years. Where's part 1? These are the days before I did playlists. 5 years ago. Oh no. There we go. There's episode 1. Right. Let's copy that link. Yeah. So that's episode 1. Who has used OK's website? It's there. Right. Let's go to episode 2. Because that's easy enough to find. There it is. And that's episode 2. Because I got a lot of stick from painting that. A lot of stick. But I might as well do it. There's my website. What's up, buddy? What's up? I don't know if I did it in here. Oh yeah, C64 Pi project. Oh, there you go. Well, I never. I even forgot that it's on my website. Oh, what's that? What's that, Fairlane? Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Okay, mate. Right, I'm gonna have to take Nico out. I won't be a sec. I'll put the waiting vid on. I'll be back in a minute. Be watching all the 1940s Sherlock Holmes. Hounds of Baskerville, yeah. I've been doing a Bond Fest. I'm on to now Living Daylights. No, not Living Daylights. What am I up to? Yeah, Living Daylights. Yeah, the first one with Timothy Dalton. Yeah, I'm up to there now at the moment. Nico was young and healthy on the... Oh, is he on? Is he actually on it? Is he actually on it? Which one? Number 1 or number 2? Number 2. Who's put chapters in my thing? Someone's put chapters on my video. Oh wow. Yes. I was a lot thinner then as well. There he is. Hey. Anyway, back to what we're doing. Stuart. Is Stuart online? Right then. So, using the state machine diagram that we've got, we're going to give these numbers, right? So this is going to be number 1. Hey Stuart, welcome. So number 2, instructions can be number 3. Level selector will be 4. Setting up the level 5. Game running can be 6. We'll do pause as 7. Lost a life 8. End of game 9. And high score can be 10. Oh, I don't know. Someone's been adding... Is it YouTube that's adding the chapters now, or does somebody do it? Has anybody seen Grady Fender's book Programmer's Reference Guide? No. Oh, he released a video today. Let's have a look. Oh, so he has. Oh, that's the Lulu one. Where you can make it into a hardback. Yeah, that's the Lulu one. Yeah, the hardback one. Right. So let's get these states in. So we'll call them GS for game state and initialize equals 1. Startup. Nico's been evicted. Really? And he's looking at him like to say, "Oi, you're in." What? Hey, he's rubbing his eye. Oh, he stopped. Oh, I think the Lulu book was in Discord. I think it was in Discord. I think it was in resource sharing, was it? Did I pin it? Can't remember if I pinned it or not. Or was it in books? Oh, I can't see it. Oh, there it was. Twitch Igor did the... he posted the map in the Commodore 64 that then you could use on Lulu. Don't think it's in there. I didn't think it would take him long to to push Aston out. All right. I mean, it's like the ultimate C64s. They were like that as well. Yes, that's that. Thanks, Stuart. I'll put them in Discord. I'll put them in Discord and I'll map them. I'll pin them so people can see them. Yeah. Right, let's get back onto this. So, next one is startup screen, instructions. Then level selector. Go away. I said go away. Setup level. Setup level, game running. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Right, so 7 was game paused. Lost a life. End of game and high score. Right. So they're the states. So we need, right, I don't know whether to put everything in here. Zero state. You don't have to. You don't have to have a zero state. I mean, we'll code around the zero problem anyway. Now, I'm just wondering whether to do .macro set state. So LDA hash oh, current game state. How convenient, I've already got it. Right. In fact, we'll call it that. So there's the macro to set the game state. So, what do we need now? We need a way of we'll need the array. Let's do arrays. So dot word. No, we'll just put zeros. Well, no, we'll put no code defined. We'll do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then no code defined can be this. Right. So that's the jump array. So now we need to jump into game state. Right, so LD, we'll do LDY, storage dot current does that really exist? I'll have to check to see if that's that. Then we'll DEY it, transfer into A, times it by 2, transfer back into Y, and now we need a constant. Have I got any 0 page constants knocking about? Not in there. Here we go. So we will use that one. No, we'll use that one. We'll use that one as our jump. Hey Nicomo. Right, that should do it. So load Y with the game state, decrease it by 1, transfer it into A, times it by 2, transfer it back. Load the low value, store it in the low, increase by 1, that means you load the high value, store it in +1. Let's just make sure. Yeah, in fact, we'll give it its name. And then we JSR to the indirect jump, do the jump, and then it will return back to here, and then we return out. Right, so that's the mechanism for doing the jump. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, I really want to be able to do this. Right, so let's do this. So we know which jump goes where. Do 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 do. Right. So that's the states. So we need to do the initialization state. So in here, this is where we start up everything, yeah? So what we need to do is we need to load the state. So if I do oh, how do we call a macro? It's just called it, isn't it? So logic. Oh, we haven't imported it, have we? And we called it logic. I don't think this is going to work inside the namespace, to be honest. I think this is going to have to be outside. Right, set now. So should do it. What does the start equals mean? Oh, it's just start equals, so the start of the assembly equals the current position, the star. It's just a way to put titles in your code block, so when you assemble, well, of course it's not going to work. I didn't think I had that in there. Didn't think I had that in there. So we will add it there. Now it should do it. There you go. So when you assemble, so let's just shut that down. You get all these, yeah. So you've just looked at, you know, start code. Now what? There's start code, look. So it just marks the block. It's just a quick way of marking the block when you do your doing your assembling. So as you can see, we've got quite a lot of things marked, like game storage, maps, character sets, task sets, and it also comes out in here as well. It also comes out on this as well. So maps, game storage, code start, yeah, so you can see how your memory map's filling up as well. Yeah, it's very handy when you start running out of RAM, especially when we join silly competitions when they only give us 5k of RAM to play with. Right, so this is the game initialized state, yeah? So this is the game initialized. So what we need to do is we set the game initialized, and what we're going to do is we're going to create...
Ladies and gentlemen, 6502 Kebab has entered the chat.
Has he? Is it really him? Dude! Welcome back! Oh, you've ordered the book as well. The hard copy, the programmer's reference guide. You can also do mapping the 64, by the way. Mapping the 64 is on, you can do in hardback as well. if you go into, if you do it via Lulu, you can do it. It's in my Discord. If you go into resource sharing and then click the pins, it's this one here, the Twitch Igor one. There you go. So you got mapping the Commodore 64 and then the hardcover, the hardcover version. Yeah. So it looks something like this. So that's the hardcover. And then I think this is the revamped one. This is the revamped one. So yeah. So just go into Discord here and you can do it, yeah. Just send that to Lulu and then you'll be able to get a hard copy of that. Yeah, I got the programmer's book when Twitch Eagle first told us about it. It has been rewritten. It has been rewritten. Yeah, it's Stuart. It's in resource sharing. If you do pinned, and then you go to Twitch Igor's where he's got the map in the 64. He's got the map in the 64 PDF book and the hardcover, so you can make a hardcover of it. He was saying there was a lot of effort being put into that because there you go. He got the book, but in spiral bound rather than hard copy. Anyway, right. So, starting the game, we need our game looper. We need the game looper. So, we can do that here, I think. It's in resource sharing. Click resource sharing, hit the pins, and then you'll see the Twitch Igor one. Right. You're building a 6502 CPU? Really? Oh, you pick. Oh, in software. Oh, right. Okay. Which language? Because I know there's a JavaScript one out there, and I know the Python one's out there. Oh, C. Trying to make it cycle accurate. Okay. Right, so we need... I'm just thinking now. That's it. That's it. He was chatting to Shalom. Yeah, I hope he gets better soon. I hope he gets better soon. We're keeping his seat warm for him. me, Stuart. We're keeping his seat warm. Right, so let's split this off. Let's do that. Right, so the first one is initialize game, isn't it? That's what we called it, initialize. So we'll call it initialize. Initialize. And we will grab this lot, because this is an initializing. Oh, have I got a raid? Hello, raiders. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to my little corner of the internet. Welcome. Who raided, by the way? Gay Game's wife. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, Gay Games Inc. Hello. Hello. Well, thank you for the raid. Much appreciated. It's not very often I get raided. It's not very often. Welcome. Welcome to the world of assembly coding. That's because everyone's asleep. Cheers, mate. Right. I can't remember. What was at 4,000? Oh! 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 Ouch! Right, what's at 4,000? Can anybody remember what I put at 4,000? I can't remember what I put at 4,000. What's at 4,000? Nothing. Nothing. Oh, I know what all that is. I know what all that is. Let's just run that out for a sec. I think that's what just starts right at the very start. There, it's those tiles. Right, we don't need them. Don't need them, we can get rid of them. Too much forgetting. Yeah, the screen before moved it, yeah. Right, so let's grab that, because that's setting up the Vic chip. So we'll put that in there. We don't need this, because this was when we was testing out our tiles. Right, so this is banking out basic. Setting the background colour. Oh, we are setting the multicolours. We are setting the multicolours. Green and red. Oh, but they're the sprite multicolours. Now, we've got a state for sprite set up, haven't we? So have a look. Now we can set it up there. Set quasi. That's what we've put there. So, what have you raiders been up to? Yes, the diagram is part of VS Code. Didn't you know? Get with the program, mate. Get with the program. It's an extension called Draw.io. There are Draw.io integration. So go grab it. It's a free version of Visio. And it has more shapes than I've got. I use this for professionally now because it's got the workflow, the shapes in. It's also got where is it? UML. I use that as well as the data flow and entity relationship diagrams. Right. So we are setting Quasi up. We are setting up the sprites in this state. So let's do that. Oh, is it you or the stream? I haven't dropped any frames, Nicomo. According to OBS, I haven't dropped any frames, so... And I'm currently running at 5K, so I should be alright. Oh, we are making twin stick shooter. Oh, C#, Unity, yes. I've been looking at Unity. I just have too many things going off at the moment. Right, so that is setting up the game. That is setting up the sprite, so initialize. So we can put that in there. So that's the first one. But we also need to tell it that we need to move on to the next state. So at the end of this, we'll tell it to move on to the next state. So the next state is the startup screen. Now, we haven't got a startup screen yet. So we'll just get it to return straight out. So,
hi, John here. Another
oi,
subscriber.
John, pay attention
Stay
to
a
chat.
while. Stay forever.
Oh, Nico's eye drops. Okay. Rosterini, thank you for the gift sub, mate. Thank you. Right, hang on a sec. I need to put Nico's eye drops in, so he's not going to be happy because I'm going to whack him up. So let's put their camera on, and I'll just go and get his drops. Hang on. Right, let's get back to this. So, right, we've created the initialize. So the next thing to do is the Scorched puppies. Yeah, he's not happy now because Aston's had something. He's not happy, are you? You nicked Aston's treat, mate. When you do that, you know Aston's going to get something different. I know. Smart, you want to say hello? You want to say hello? Come here then. Say hello. 1, 2, 3. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello to everyone. Say hello to everyone. What are you sniffing for? Say hello. As you can see, his eyes are a lot better. Look, his eyes are a lot better, look. Yeah, you're looking for treats, aren't you? You're looking for treats? Yeah? You're not going to find anything up here, mate. Are you? No. Alright then, let's put you down now. Here we go. That's your 5 minutes of fame. That's your 5 minutes of fame, mate. Find a piece of chicken under the table. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, right. Right, so that's next on the state. Startup screen. That's what we was doing next, wasn't it? So we're not going to do anything at the moment, but we're just going to set the state to do something else. Which is instructions. Five minutes, that's half an hour in doggy time, yeah. Hey up. Hey up. Oh look, look. He's getting his own back, look. He's nicked his bed again. Right, start up screen. So, start up screen is there. So that's where we're going to go for that. Next one is instructions. So let's do that. And from that we go to GS level selector, but we you peed, you better not have done. You've just been oh, what's the matter? Come here. Come here. Take it easy. Take it easy, buddy. Alright then, you alright now? He's just having one of his wobbly moments. Oh, I see what you mean. Aston is he's been a pain. He's just going, look, I'm in your bed. Ha! Tough. Yeah. Look. That's what he's saying. He's going, I'm in your bed, so tough. I wonder how long it'd be before he kicks him out. Anyway. Right. So, level selector. This level selector, we said let's put a thing in here. If testing, then set the state to level. Else, we're going to set it to setup. To setup level. There we go. So if it's testing, then we'll have the level selector and we'll code the level selector up. What? I know he's in your bed. Well, tough. Go and sleep in his bed. I'm not turfing him out. No. Not turfing him out. He can turf him out himself. Alright then, mate. See you later, Fairlane. Oh, by the way, Fairlane, did you get access to the patron repo before you go? Did you get in alright? Oh, good. Good. Right, GS setup level. He's moved again. Five dogs and 3 cats. Oh, I bet that's lively every day. Yes, these two boys are getting on a bit. Nico, the tan coloured one, Nico, he's got a few issues at the moment. I mean, Aston's not there. He's got dementia, but Nico's the one that's got the few issues at the moment that we're trying to work his way through. Right, so have I done setup screen? Yes, I've done that. So instructions, need to put instructions in there. Level selector in there. All of them rescued. Wow. I bet it is I bet it is lively in your house. It's bad enough with these two. Bad enough with those two. Right, setup level. Right, this is the one. This is the one where we've got a lot of code here. 2 cats and 3 budgies. I mean, that's still a dangerous mix, isn't it? Cats and birds. That's still a dangerous mix. Right, let's do the setup level. So this is the setting up of the level. So we're doing the map number. We're doing the map number, initializing the map. Oh, I suppose we better import that. Is it? Oh, what did I call? Game maps. Right, so initialize. Right, so this is setting up the level. So in our grand scheme of right, yes, so we need to do that as well. So we need to set up the initializer. We need to set up the sprites. That's setting up that. Need all of that. Game running. Right, so this is where the bulk of the code's going to go in the game running, yeah? He taught us all puddy cat. Oh, we don't eat friends. Okay. What is he up to? Oh, he's licking his paw. Better not be rubbing his eye. Right, so we can get rid of that. Right, so the game running, this is the main bulk of the game loop. So, game running. So that's going to be all this lot. To there. So we'll put that in. RTS, because we've got nothing doing now. we haven't coded any pause or anything like that. So hopefully, when I get rid of this, we should now still be able to run this. Hopefully. Look at that! Look at that! We are still running. We are still running, even though we've just reorganized the source code. Right. So now we can ignore this bit now. We're no longer bothered about this. Everything's going to happen in here now. So we need to import some libraries, I think. So import game quasi. What on earth is he trying to do? Don't scratch your eye, Matt, buddy. Oi! Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. That's how you got your eye into trouble. That's how you hurt your eye, so stop doing it. Right. So this is our game running loop. And from here we will go to all the different states now. So I'm just wondering whether we need to... because we've got... what's this? Sprite frame counter... What is this being... I can't remember what that's been used for. Oh, it's the main counter, isn't it? That's the main counter. So we don't forget. Need to import controls. So that should get rid of that error. And what's the last two? Animate and collisions. Right, hopefully that should get rid of all the errors, and it has. Right, so we are error free. So we're waiting for 200, and then we're doing all this. So that's got the gravity. This is just the main game loop. So we can get rid of that because we don't need it, and that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Cycles in gravity pull. Oh, this is... I'm going to change that to red. so it's definitely. Right, that's the conveyor belt. And then the rest of it. So update, animate quasi. Right. Oh, girlfriend's got come back. Oh dear. All right then, mate. See you later. We're not going to be long. Just want to make sure everything's right. Right, so we're going red when we are when Quasi's in death mode, yeah? That's still working. That's still working. Just need to stop him going off the edge. Right. So now we've got the game states, we can start adding the different states. So what should we do? I'm just thinking whether we could design the level selector, I suppose. But that's only for us. The instructions, we don't know what we're going to be using yet, because all at the moment we're just using the joystick, I think, at the moment. Hang on, where's the controls? I think we're only using the joystick at the moment. Yes, we are. We haven't put the keyboard things in yet. So, right, what's next? So, we've defined the state machine. What's next? Code up the bad guys. I think that's a bit late for that now. I suppose. Wonder who that was then. Oh! Neat. Neat. That's a Yorkshire word. And he's Canadian. Yorkshire. I'm supposed to be rubbing off on him. Right. So. I don't know whether to start something or not. Let's do the level selector. Let's start with the level selector. So how we're going to do that? How we're going to do that? Simple. a rotator up and down, just changes the number. Do you think? I really want to do the bad guys, but it's a bit late for that. We'll have to start that on Wednesday.
Oh my god, more bits? Thank you very much. You guys really spoil me.
Okay, Mrs. OSK, we'll... Night night. Map the level where you would move a sprite. Yeah. Because we have all this lot. So, right, yeah, but I need to code the bad guys up so we can do that. Because we're going to have an arrow coming in from this side, doing that, and then disappearing. I think that's what we're going to do there. We're going to have soldiers patrolling. I mean, what did we have in the original one? Well, that didn't start, did it? There we go. So this is what we had with the original. So we had an arrow go in there. Oh, we got power-ups as well. We haven't even thought about the power-ups yet. So we had the arrow come in there, and then we had the fireball. We had a guy patrolling. So the fireball was all the way. Yeah, the fireball was all the way from here as well. Plus we've got Jill as well up there. Night night. Take care. Oh, it's glitching now because there's loads of stuff going on. I suppose we could start thinking about the HUD. I suppose we could start thinking about the HUD. Because I want to do the HUD differently than this, because on this we copy the HUD into two different places and I don't want to do that. What I want to do is switch the video RAM to the main one, so the HUD is always the main video RAM, so we're not copying the HUD to two different the main and the shadow RAM. I want it to be on the same one all the time. But there is a problem with that, isn't there? Timer's thrown a fit. Right. So what we need to do is I need to code up the bad guys so we know what the bad guys can do, yeah? But we also need to look at these maps and start thinking where we're going to put these, yeah? And also be able to work out the route for Quasi and what the end goal is, yeah? We need to work out what the end goal is so we can mark it and then be able to test for it. See, there's no way for him to get up there on this level. There's no way for him to get up there. So if Jill is the person that he's got to go for, there's no way for him getting. So we need to look at these levels and see what we can do. Because this one, same problem. How do we get there? So we need to define where the end point is and where the start point is. Well, the start point's always going to be here somewhere, I think. But it's just height. We could set the height of Quasi, yeah. So if he's up there, you know. Hey, Proton. See here. So we could jump up there, possibly jump up there, jump across. That's going to be troublesome because he will fall through that gap. Let's fire each one of these levels up. So this is level 3, just to see what it's like. So straight away we started on fire. Right. So these we can't jump on. Those we can't jump on. So how are we going to get across there? Unless they're meant to be solid blocks. Are they meant to be solid blocks? See what I mean? Yeah, we need a start. We need a start tile and an end tile. Yeah. I mean, we can make them be something, but then when we come to do the game properly, we could wipe those characters out, but still have the material type. But how's Quasi going to get across this fire? Because these are not solid blocks. Yeah, exactly. So to make them solid, that's this lot. So it's just the tops, I think. So that's the top there, and that's the top, I think. Where's the tiles? How can you tell which... If you double it, does it come up with a character? No, it's not. Oh, character picker. Ah, here we go. 94, 96. So that's 94 there. Why? Oh, why is that 97? Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So my guesswork would be that this one. Oh, I'm gonna have to do one at a time. Right. That one's one. That one's one. That one's one. And that one's one. Right, let's see if that's right. Right, so we should... Do we jump? There we go. There we go. So we can get across now. Oh, this is going to be good, isn't it? Get between the spikes. Oh! Oh, I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm alright. Oh, I would have died. I would have died. Let's go back. Let's go back. How far can we get across before we... There we go. That's it. We got across. So, up. Right. Oh, that we'd have to do this. There we go. We'd have to do that. Okay. There's a way for Quasi to get there. The barrels are not solid blocks, I don't think. Should we make them a solid block? I mean, we can make them a solid block. Do you think there should be a solid block? Let's make them a solid block, see if it works. Right. The barrel is there. We only need to... Yeah, I mean, since making the green, you can use the OSK to get there, right? Well, Fairlane's just gone to bed. he did these. He's just gone to bed. So, I mean, let's try 4. Let's see what 4 does. Right, so can we jump on there? Oh yes. Get in there, John. You've made the... Oh, that is troublesome. Oh, that is hard. That is hard. Can't even get on the down slope either, can we? No. That is difficult. That is difficult. Oh, I managed to get over that. Oh, didn't get over that one. But we can do that. Get over. Oh, that is not nice. Can't get across there. Or can we? Oh yes. Oh yes. Get up there, John. Get up there. Fall off the edge. There we go. Whoa, where are we going now? So we're there. Okay. Let's fall off. There we go. You have to, right, either have to change how you react to the blocks in that jumping into them. Yeah, I mean at the moment, if it's a solid block, it will stop us in its tracks. It will stop us. Even when we're jumping, we'll just bounce off it. You can step over the sphere, yeah. Oh, I think to make it easier, you should make a counter for how long you are in a bad spot, and only if you stay for a few milliseconds it kills you. That avoids this barely touching event. Oh. I think I know what you mean. Right. So that's not so bad now. That I thought that would have been a lot worse. Oh, you mean that they have a little bit of a grace period before they die? Is that what you're saying? So when they're in peril, they have several game cycles to get out of that peril before they die. Is that what you're saying? Because then you could walk on fire, couldn't you? You could jump across fire. Yeah, because you could that if you did that, you could walk across fire. You could do this, jump, like that. As long as you was quick enough. I mean that we can definitely put that in it. Definitely put that. Hang on, let me write that down. No, We'll put it in there. Jump walking over the fire as an example, yeah? Yeah? We could definitely put that in. Because it also gives the chance that if you get spiked by a spire, you might get away with it when you was jumping over it. Might get away with it. All right then. Right, it's coming up to 11 here. So we need to we need the maps to be, yeah, 1 or 2 frames. I mean, that's, don't want to make it like 10 frames because, well, 5 frames is 1/10 of a second, isn't it? 5 frames. So we don't want to make it too easy. But yeah. So we need these maps sorting out. We need the maps sorting out. We need to work out the routes Quasi's going to take, and we also need to define the start and end points, so we can detect when we've got to the end, so we can then move on to the next map. So this is what I'm relying on you guys. Yeah, if everybody who's a patron who's got access to the repo, it's all there. Quasi 2's in the patron repo with all this stuff. And if you haven't got access to the patron repo, just let me know and I'll send you this template. Yes, we do. Yeah, we'll have to definitely do that, Nicomo. Because I think some of them are going to be maybe a little bit easier and we might have to tweak it. And some of them probably a bit too hard. And we'll have to tweak that. But if you want to add levels, I can put this template in Discord and you can have a play. Like I say, make sure the first 32 characters are left alone. Alright? Are left alone. I might actually make these unique, so if anybody does a decompression or compression, it's not going to mess it about. Let's just do this for a sec. Right, put 2 dots there, 2 dots there, 2 dots there. There we go. Charpad will treat them as unique and not a duplicate. But they're spare characters that we're going to use for other things, so they could be something else that we're going to use. Alright then guys, right. I'll put this template into Discord. Hang on, looks like, have I got messages? Yes, I have. Hang on a second. I'll sort that out in a minute. Right then, guys. So we need to sort the maps out. We need to have a formal plan of how the maps are going to work. In the next episode, we'll code the bad guys up, because I think what we've used in the original Hunchback should be enough. We'll just have to tweak it to make it more efficient. And then we can start thinking about placing where these bad guys, where the arrow's going to go, where the fireball's going to go, the floating skelly face, the two guards, and then we'll be able to work on sorting out how the gameplay is going to work. And then we can start on doing all the other bits like instruction stream, pausing, and everything like that. So it's going to be a few more streams yet for this, but this time we're going to finish it now we've rewritten it. Alright guys, well thank you very much for joining me, and I have 5 minutes for Nicos next eye drops. He's not going to be happy, is he? He's not going to be happy. He's asleep, bless him. I'm going to whack him up again. Alright guys, I will see you on Wednesday, and we will code the we'll start coding the bad guys. Alright? Yeah, 5 minutes eye drops. Okay. Right, take care guys, and I will see you soon. I'd like to thank all the patrons that are contributing to my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you very much.